Have you ever walked through an old city and noticed windows just above the sidewalk, or grand doorways half buried in the ground? These aren't just quirks, they're clues. The official story says streets were raised over time, but what if the ground itself rose up, swallowing the first floors of entire cities? Old maps show a vast empire called Tartaria, stretching across continents, then vanishing almost overnight by the 19th century. How does an empire that size disappear without a trace? Where did its people and knowledge go? Then, there are the photographs. Empty streets, colossal buildings, no sign of construction, just silence and grandeur. It looks less like a city being built, and more like a world inherited. When you connect these mysteries, buried buildings, a lost empire, silent cities, a new picture emerges. What if the 19th century was less about building, and more about excavating and resettling the ruins of a forgotten civilization? Were pioneers really building from scratch, or moving into the remnants of a world that came before? These are the questions we'll explore, so grab your gear. The expedition starts now. Let's talk about the mud flood phenomenon, a global pattern found in historic cities everywhere, buildings with first floors buried, ornate windows and doors now below ground, supposedly due to street raising, but raising an entire city's street level by 10 feet. That's no small feat. Why design beautiful entrances just to bury them? The scale and consistency suggest a single worldwide event, not centuries of city planning. Many basements have full-size doors and windows, identical to upper floors, clearly meant for people, not coal. What if these cities weren't built up but dug out after a cataclysmic flood of mud and earth? Survivors would have cleared what they could, starting life anew on higher ground. The truth isn't in the history books. It's buried just below the pavement. 19th century photos of cities like San Francisco and Chicago show massive ornate buildings, yet the streets are empty, muddy, and eerily silent. Where are the workers, the scaffolding, the chaos of construction? Instead, we see finished structures and a handful of people, dwarfed by their surroundings. Many so-called construction photos actually show workers digging out dirt from around existing buildings, not building them up. It looks more like an archaeological dig than a construction site. These cities seem underpopulated for their scale. Grand boulevards and public squares stand deserted. The official timeline says these were booming centers of growth, but the evidence suggests otherwise. If these cities were truly new, where is everyone? The photographs don't lie. They show a world waiting for inhabitants, not one being built from scratch. It's as if these cities were inherited, not constructed. The silence is the loudest clue. The architecture of the late 19th century, cathedrals, domes, star-shaped forts, defies belief. We're told these were built in a few years by men with horses and hand tools, but the scale and precision rival modern engineering. Massive stone blocks, intricate carvings, perfect arches. How did they do it so quickly, and with so little documentation? Chicago's post-fire rebuild and the world's Columbian Exposition supposedly rose in just a couple of years, faster than we could manage today with all our technology. For many of these buildings, records are scarce or missing. Often, a single architect's name is attached, but no explanation of how the feat was accomplished. It's as if history was written after the fact, to cover up a deeper truth. Maybe these architects weren't builders, but renovators of a lost world. Nowhere is the mystery deeper than the Great World's Fairs, temporary white cities of breathtaking beauty, built and demolished within months. We're told these were plaster over wood, but photos show solid, enduring structures. Some even survived storms that should have destroyed them. Why build such wonders only to tear them down? The logic doesn't add up. What if these weren't temporary at all? What if the fairs were the grand unveiling of ancient cities, recently excavated and refurbished? Organizers patched them up, installed electric lights, and presented them as new. After the fair, they demolished the evidence, erasing the past. The fairs weren't a glimpse of the future, but a fleeting look at a glorious past. The official story is a cover for something much older. On old maps, Tartaria is a vast empire. Then, by the 19th century, it vanishes, not just renamed, but erased from history, with no tales of its fall, no epic wars, just silence. This disappearance coincides with the era of empty monumental cities and the mud flood phenomenon. Could Tartaria have been the advanced civilization that built these cities, only to be wiped out by catastrophe? Its architecture was global, grand, classical, and mysterious. Some say its technology included atmospheric energy, hinted at by strange spires and domes. The erasure of Tartaria wasn't just political, it was the systematic removal of a predecessor civilization. The new powers built their world atop the old, claiming its achievements as their own. Tartaria is the missing piece of the puzzle, its legacy is hidden in plain sight. If a global civilization was wiped out, who repopulated the empty cities? Enter the orphan trains, hundreds of thousands of children shipped across America, their origins unclear. The official story blames poverty, but the numbers are staggering, and similar events happen worldwide. Teenagers appeared dazed, as if their pasts had been erased. Were these the survivors of the cataclysm, their memories wiped, used to repopulate the world with a blank slate? The orphan trains weren't just charity, they were a mechanism for resetting society and burying the past. As the 19th century progressed, a new history was written, one of progress, invention, and modernity. The old world of Tartaria was buried, both in mud and in memory. The knowledge and skills to build those massive stone cities vanished, replaced by steel and concrete. Many grand buildings were simply repurposed, banks, city halls, libraries, while their true origins were forgotten. We walk through their halls every day, never questioning their past. The reset was thorough. New history, new energy, even a new population. The evidence remains, embedded in our cities and the gaps in our records. We've uncovered buried windows, silent cities, impossible architecture, and a vanished empire. The story challenges everything we've been taught, but the clues are everywhere. Next time you walk through an old city, look for the signs. Windows to nowhere, sunken entrances, impossible scale. Question the official story. The truth isn't just in books, it's written in stone and brick, in the silence where history should be loud. We live in the relics of a lost world, told a different story about their origins. This isn't the end. It's the beginning of a new expedition. The secrets are all around us, waiting to be uncovered. Are you ready to start digging? The biggest discoveries are yet to come.